You don't even say anything?
Did I say take one? Hey, this is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And today we are talking about the Saucony Endorphin Pro 4.
We're
here. 4 quadrants in, or one single quadrant. The end of the quadrant. I don't know.
Anyway.
My kids are doing fractions in school right now, and I have no idea how to even, I'm like, yeah, just write this over this, and then divide, you're good. You'll graduate someday. All right, so we're here. We're talking about the Endorphin Pro 4. They're Saucony's premium race day shoe. is it the most premium race day shoe?
I don't know, because now they got the Elite.
Yeah, it's hard to say which is, but they're almost the same price. The Elite's $10 more?
25?
Oh, wait, this is only $225?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought this was $250.
And the Elite's $275?
Yeah, okay, so we're talking...
Discounted!
Never mind, that's a big difference. Anyways, we'll get into the price and all that later. But yeah, this is I would say their staple race day shoe. Yeah. Kind of what they're known for.
Yeah, this has always been, we talk about how there's like tiers of our super shoes and how there's kind of like the Nike that's like here and then everyone else, which is right here. And this one I feel like falls at very much towards the top of that second tier. Like I've always felt like the Saucony Pro was a really, really good racing shoe.
Yeah, definitely. Especially depending on what your taste is. I know that, so the first couple versions were a little bit, I would say aggressive.
Yeah.
I really liked them. I think taking it to the marathon distance was a little bit rough on some people.
Yeah.
You could do it, but it was definitely an aggressive shoe.
Yeah.
Versions 1 and 2. And then the third one was like totally different.
Yeah. That one felt much softer and responsive, where I feel like I'd be more willing to take it the marathon distance.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a lot softer, more comfortable, more cushioned than the first 2 versions of the shoe. And now we have the 3. So,
4.
I mean, sorry, now whatever.
Fractions.
Yeah, not just numbers in general. So now we have the 4, and I feel like this is, again, kind of a different shoe, a fully different shoe from the 3.
Yeah, I agree, but in like a very positive way, which we liked the 3, so almost changing too much would seem like maybe a negative thing, but I feel like all of the things they changed were for the better.
Yeah, okay, so let's get into it. There are some big changes. I would say, let's just start with the upper.
I mean, it doesn't look like a mermaid anymore.
Right, so that was, I mean, I guess depending on your preference of Disney movies, that's a good or a bad thing. I think it's a good thing overall.
Yeah.
Stepping away from the glitterati. So we're back to a normal kind of mesh upper.
Yeah.
Pretty open, pretty breathable, but it does have a knit tongue on it.
Yeah, it's a very stretchy, also, I don't know if you call this gusset or it's just like attached here.
Yeah, it's just integrated. I would say integrated.
Integrated into the shoe.
Got you.
So there's definitely no sliding around. I will say, while we're talking about the upper here, the one knock I do have on this shoe, and I feel like this is probably just like a me running on a very long run issue, but when I was tying the laces, it was rubbing against the top of my foot, so it irritated. So I actually took the tongue, flipped it over, and then tied the lace on top of it, so I had extra padding. So it's a trick if you want to use it.
Yeah, it's definitely a hack.
Yeah.
I would say the tongue is interesting to me because like if you don't fold it over, it runs so far up on your
It's very stretchy.
Shin almost.
And a little weird.
I'm not sure what the purpose of it is. It's cool to fold it over and get the logo effect, but I just don't know that it was
Do you think I did it right? Do you think this is what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, it is now. It wasn't before. It opened a whole new sector. So, and it does tend, if it doesn't fit you perfectly, it might bunch up a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's, again, not the greatest thing. But overall, I didn't have any real issues aside from that. So, not the greatest design, but probably not a deal breaker.
And also really, really light, very, very breathable. I use this for some warmer runs because we've had this shoe for quite a while now. And it was great for like the long runs in the summer, like easy day.
Yeah. Yeah, so overall, nothing wrong with the upper in that way. Fit, lockdown, everything great. All right, so let's move to the midsole because this did see some changes, specifically in that it's a dual density midsole.
Yeah, so not just PB now.
Right, so now we have the PWRRUN HG.
Yeah, so that's the fancy foam they used in the Elite shoe that we talked about earlier, which is their premium race day shoe.
And the stack height is pretty much at that limit for World Athletics, 39.5 in the heel, 31.5 in the forefoot for an 8mm drop. Underfoot, I'll just throw the weight out there real quick, get that out of the way. So men's 9 is 7.5 ounces, 212 grams.
Women's 7.5, 6.5 ounces, 185 grams. So it's pretty light.
Yeah. So it's definitely in the lighter realm of race day shoes. Let's talk about the ride of the shoe. What did you think, Meg? Because you put in a lot of miles in this.
I did my training for Chicago. A lot of my long runs were in this shoe.
Okay.
So I racked them up pretty quickly.
And you had, in your long runs, you have some marathon pace miles or faster paces in those, right?
I did, yeah. So I did a couple workouts and then some easy long runs. So I kind of did the gamut in this shoe. And what I really like is that it felt great for all of the speed. So sometimes a race day shoe feels awkward and not great at some of those slower paces. But this is one where I feel like it translates from easy pace to fast pace and is comfortable throughout. This feels, compared to the previous iteration, a little bit softer to me. I actually put one New Balance SC Elite on my foot and one Saucony Endorphin Pro on my foot and was just walking around because they felt very similar to me. And I do feel like there are a lot of similarities between those two shoes.
Okay.
So maybe this one is just slightly more aggressive, I think is the term you've been using. I would say it's a little bit more aggressive than the Elite, but I feel like these are very similar shoes in the way they ride.
Yeah, I can see that. I think the speed roll, I feel like the speed roll in the Saucony Endorphin line pretty much across the board makes these shoes just feel more aggressive because the turnover's quicker in them. And I think that in general just applies to, again, all their shoes and separates it a little bit from some of the other models, especially depending where you land in your stride. I love a good rocker. I love the Hoka rockers. I love the Saucony Endorphin Speed and Pro have always hit me right. I just feel like it feels so effortless running in the shoes. This is no different for me. I ran a Turkey Trot 5K, which I tried to go out. I went out hard.
So you do it at 5K.
It was a disaster by the end, but the first 2 miles were great. And I took this out. Yeah, it was pretty much as fast as I could go in the 5K. It felt awesome, even though I couldn't feel my feet because it was like 25 degrees that day and we were standing around. The ride and the turnover was super quick and snappy. Just felt propulsive. Again, I love this ride. Like you were saying, it just feels good at any pace. Because after I did my 5K, I did there was 2 waves, and so I went out with my 7-year-old to run it as well. So we were running, 9, 30, 10-minute paces. So it was a little bit slower, but hey, it still worked. It wasn't like some race day shoes where like if you're running slow, you're blocky, you feel all over the place. So in a way, it is like the Endorphin Speed where it's like not a daily trainer, but it could be like you can just run any pace in it.
Yeah, I think that's definitely good quality. So one of the things we were talking about is the distances that we would run in this shoe. For the 1 and 2, we were kind of eliminating the marathon. But for this one, you've raced a 5K. Would you race a marathon in this?
Yeah, I think this is definitely more adaptable to the marathon distance than versions 1 and 2. Yeah. I feel like it's in the same range as probably the 3. Maybe not as much cushion or comfort as some of the shoes out there, but it feels like more of a race day shoe, which is kind of what you want.
Yeah.
I don't know if we mentioned it has a carbon fiber plate. Maybe that goes without saying in a lot of the
race shoes these days. Yeah. Pretty much guarantee.
But I mean, at $225, you're getting a pretty good shoe.
Yeah.
For that undercuts pretty much all the other race day shoes out there.
Yeah. And then again, we talked about in the Endorphin Speed review, they've added this new lattice rubber outsole here, which is nice. I mean, there's a substantial amount for a race day shoe, but it doesn't affect the weight. We talked about earlier, it's pretty light. So I feel like it's durable and the traction is really nice, but you still have this very racy, light feeling shoe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a really nice upgrade to the Endorphin line. I feel like Saucony just doesn't miss in the Endorphin line, except for the shift, which has been killed off.
It's gone?
I believe. I'm 99% sure that's gone. Yeah, I think just the Endorphin line in general has been one of my favorite lines of the past 5 years.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it also helped when they came out with the race car style. Was that the 2?
This one.
And we did a whole thing with Talladega Nights, so that kind of sold it for us.
That was
I think.
fun. That was a good video. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch it. I feel like it's worth the watch.
For sure.
Yeah, but I mean, if you ain't first, you're last. So I don't know if that means that Saucony might be last because I don't know if I put the shoe first.
Oh.
But I would put it in the mix for sure.
It's definitely, this would fall into one of my top 3. Did I say top 3?
Okay, top 3.
Top 3 race day shoes solid. Right now. Yeah.
All right, I like it. Okay, so I guess we know what we're giving this shoe.
This one, Saucony, you did it again. Green light.
Green light. All right, nice, very good. And when does this come out again?
This one comes out March 1, and we said $225. So the way race day shoes are going, it's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. If you're looking for, I don't want to say budget race shoe at $225, but something that is a little bit cheaper that you're still going to get crazy good performance out of, I mean, you can't go wrong here. Yeah,
and I think if you liked the 3, you're definitely going to be happy with the updates to the 4. Because while they did make some substantial changes, it still has that Endorphin Pro feel that, like, I think you're used to expecting.
Yeah, yep. It's a great shoe overall. Again, good job, Saucony. And I'm trying to think what else. If you haven't watched the Endorphin Speed video, watch that as well. Yeah. Because I think it's a great counterpart to this shoe. Or even if you're looking for a more budget version of this shoe, very similar feels. Yeah. Just in a maybe more, that leans more to the daily trainer side of things.
Yeah, they're perfect companions, or, just get one.
Mm-hmm. There you go. All right. We just saved you money, whichever one you buy.
Or didn't if you get them both, but then it's worth it.
Yeah. Just, you can blame it on us. You blame the credit card bill on us. We accept full responsibility. All right. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like this video and follow us on Instagram. Listen to our podcast, The Drop, Fuel for the Soul. And sign up for our email list.
Yeah, come see us at events that we'll probably be at. I don't know. We'll talk about them on the podcast. Go check out the podcast.
Yeah, and this video should be coming out on the day of the marathon trials, I think. Or the day after. One of those days.
Before.
Okay.
February 1?
Yeah. Okay. Is it February 1? Okay. I don't know.
No one knows.
There's too many shoes coming off embargo the same weekend of the marathon trials.
Yeah, everyone's just throwing them out there.
Anyways, good luck to all the runners running there, because I know you're watching this and thinking, you're trying to get this shoe right before the race.
Yeah.
All right. Ciao.